Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome to Untangled. We are on episode 136, and I am so happy, grateful, honored, humbled, and excited to be here today. I am so excited to be here today. Truly, I am. I'm in a good mood. I just put some myrrh essential oil on me, and I have so much gratitude for all of you. I have so much gratitude for this human experience. I have so much gratitude for little Jesus figurines that I have all over my house. I have gratitude for our physical bodies. I have gratitude for the amount of effort that it takes sometimes for us to just show up and get out of bed and go do life. Oh, wowzers. Hello, 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 everyone. If you guys have been following me for a while, I should just say, if you've been walking this path with me for a while, um, you know that I have been, it's not, I'm not usually this super stoked on life, excited, like just looking forward to what's to come. If you know me, you know me. I I don't know. I've had a lot of the glasses half full type of vibe with our evolution, with our shift, with where humanity is and where humanity is going. But I gotta tell you all right now, Mike, where have you been? We have missed you in SOAR. It's okay though. I'm just happy to see you here. Um, you guys, I have been really shifting. I have been changing. I have been changing. And I want to shout it from the rooftops. I I am seeing life, I am seeing us, I am seeing you, I am seeing our evolutionary shift. I am seeing it with so much more love and gratitude and excitement. And if you know me, I don't pretend. I don't put on a show. I don't say, "Oh, I'm now gonna go do Untangled, so let me put on my teacher hat and pretend that I'm gonna go teach, and show up as the teacher." Of course, I do that when I'm teaching a class of some sort, but, um, something's in the air, you guys. Something good is in the air. It is, a door opening, an energetic door opening. I want you to use your imagination, okay? You may be really in the dumps right now. You may be having a really difficult time. You may be judging yourself, comparing yourself. You don't have enough money. You're going through a divorce. You just went through a breakup. Maybe you just had a miscarriage, or you're trying to get pregnant and you can't. Maybe you just found out that you're diagnosed with cancer, or somebody in your family is diagnosed with cancer. Legit, life is intense right now for a lot of us. Life is a lot for a lot of us. And we need to honor that. We need to see that. We need to understand that. We need to hold that. Um, we need to be in the nitty gritty of life. We need to be in the trenches with people. We need to, I think there's nothing more important. I'm coming back to my door, my energetic door. I want us all to recognize, but I also think it's extremely important to stay so grounded in what is happening for so many humans on this planet, in countries that we may never go to. You know, the genocide, the 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 murders, the starvations, the horrific stuff we don't like talking about that's happening on this planet. All of the personal work that you're doing for yourself is not for you. I've always said this, and I really believe this. But it's important that we understand what is happening for us individually, so that we can um, use it for the benefit of humanity, and shift this planet based on our own ability to be able to first kind of really understand what's happening in our own containers, in our own energetic space, in our own inner unique individual um, uh, patterns of shifting, patterns of awakening. Um, but there's a couple things that I want to bring attention to, and one of them is how important, how brutally important it is to understand that the most powerful and potent shifts that we can make on this planet is in the real nitty gritty of the human experience. I don't think it's important if there's aliens coming. I don't think it's important if there's an alien invasion. I don't think it's important that we're talking to galactic beings. I think what's important is that we are on the ground dealing with very basic the human conditions that are here on the planet, and that we talk about that more, that we face that more, that we are addressing the human experiences more and more. That is what I believe to be the most important thing, and I think that is what is going to be pulling us through the next 10 to 15 years, is how deeply ingrained can we get in this human experience, so that we can fully surrender into this next phase, which is the embodiment of God in human form. And you are not here as a soul to move back out into this quantum space. You're here to understand the quantum 100%. You're here to understand galactic beings, perhaps, maybe. You're here to understand timeline shifts and different dimensional fields. But you came into this human experience as a soul to be in the human, to really feel everything you're feeling. All the ups and downs, yep. All the depression, yep. All the anxiety, yep. All the frustration, all of the confusion, all of it, the lack, the abundance. That is why you as a soul are here. You're here to be so fully ingrained in this human experience, right? That you reap the purpose and the next shift that humanity's stepping into, which is the very integrated human with whatever you see God as, whatever it may be. But so when I was talking earlier about the door, the energetic door, if we imagine that what we have been going through the last 50 years, 80 years, 100 years, 150, 200, 300, 5,000 years, right? Um, it's to get us to this place where we find ourselves right now, where it's a pretty chaotic on the planet, lots of infiltration of really dark, evil, yucky energies infiltrating us. They have been infiltrating us, and we're like exhausted, right? We're dirty, and we're our clothes are all beat up, and we have bruises on us, and it's just a lot, right? We're sick and tired of it. We're like, we're dragging our feet, and we look up, right? Imagine we're all in this kind of battlefield, and we look up, and we see this beautiful door, this beautiful portal door, right? And it's not a portal because it's not going to take us out of what we're in. Um, because I don't believe that that is how we do this. I don't think that we move out of this. I think that we we shift while we're in it, right? So imagine this big, huge door opening, and we kind of look up and we see this like this light, almost like a new opportunity, um, something new. And when this door opens up, it's almost as if fresh air comes in, or maybe not f yeah, fresh air, like like we get sprinkled with all of this food that we get to eat, or these drinks that we get to have, or a fresh shower. It's like fresh, new, um, new perspective, new light, new life, newness, a rebirth, right? And this door opening isn't opening because you've done something. This door isn't opening because you elevated your awareness and consciousness to some elevated state and you've done it. You're better than others. This door isn't opening because you have perfected some sort of meditation skill. This door isn't opening because you've taken all the classes and healed all your trauma. This door isn't opening because you have been able to get out of a really bad relationship. This door isn't opening because you're eating healthier or you're eating more clean. This door is opening for all of us, no matter where we are on our journey, no matter what sort of up and down struggles that we've had. There is this profound opening that's happening, this door that's gifting us a rebirth in a way. And this opening or opportunity that's opening on the planet for us, that's brewing, so to speak, has nothing to do with your performance. So this planet is all about performance. It's all about prestige. It's all about um, titles, labels, what you have, where you're going. Um, and we're actually just a child of God. We have been created in the image of God. Our souls came from God, right? We are not good because we have a job. We are not good because we have money. We are not good because we have children that we've raised. We are inherently good because we are a child of God, because we came from this creator source. And how we've lived on this planet is through this very judgmental lens. Um, you know, you're good if you do this, you're bad if you do this, you're happy if you do this, you're sad if you do this, blah, 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 blah. And what's happening right now is this for so many of us is this door is opening. There's an opportunity coming where there's a rebirth, a coming home, almost a feeling of inviting in um, this light. Let's just call it inviting in this light, and this very subtle but profound light. And it has nothing to do with what you're doing on this planet. It has nothing to do with grid work or light codes or increasing the frequency of your body. It has nothing to do with your purpose work. It has nothing to do with any of the details that we get stuck in. It has nothing to do with dimensional shifts. It has nothing to do with the Schumann resonance. It has nothing to do with um, the details. This door that's opening for humanity could care less about details. It doesn't care. It is the next wave of evolution for humanity, and it's an opening and a homecoming to who you have always been. And so it's almost like, I know I'm using this metaphor, confusing, but um, start thinking about your life through this metaphor, though, that there's this door opening, okay, and this light coming in. And start thinking about the fact that you don't have to do anything for this door to open. You don't have to do anything for this light to come in. Okay. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to be a certain way. You don't have to change anything. There's a door opening for all of us to have this rebirth. You don't have to read certain things. You don't have to be in some 5D thing. You don't, all of this nonsense that we get so caught up in is all bullshit. Excuse my language, but it's all BS. Like, and I think that is the old stuff that we're gonna start to drop as we start realizing, and this is 5, 10, 15 years down the road. This new thing that's opening for humanity that I'm speaking of is gonna take some time for humanity to trust, because humanity likes to do things on their own. They like to be in charge. They like to feel like they're the beginning and the end. They're the starting point, the end point. Um, that they know how to do this. That they're creators, right? And so, to me personally, I believe that's still part of like an older um, aspect of our human experience that we will grow out of, that we will move out of, and we will move into this rebirth phase on the planet, where we'll start to realize um, heaven on earth, freedom from emotion and thought that have created turmoil in your life, freedom from behaviors that have created turmoil in your life, um, the ability to keep our eyes open and see everything that is happening on the planet, that there is this ability to be in all of this with a sense of awe, excitement, courage, love, compassion, acceptance, surrender, when we look at this door that's opening for us and this light that's coming in. I'm not talking about the solar flares. I'm talking about God, the source of all light. And because even the sun was created, right? So everything that we everything that we argue about, everything we fight about, everything that we have discussions about, whether it's in the quantum field, whether it's in galactic fields, whether it's in the physical field here, it's all been created. Um, and when you go back to the original source of everything, that's what's opening right now. There is this energetic door that's opening where the light of God or the light of source is coming down and coming into our lives in a very different way. And it has no preference. It requires nothing, nothing. And it's going to shock many humans in the recognition and realization of how easy it can be to move into this rebirth phase simply by recognizing that an energetic, meaning I can't see it, door has opened. And there is this floodgate of God coming in, or this floodgate of source energy coming in. Okay. That has nothing to do with the sun or solar flares or the Schumann resonance. It has everything to do with where we are as a human collective on our evolutionary shift along our journey as a human collective evolving, and this new phase that we are beginning. Maybe I'll call it the rebirth. It's it's about opening ourselves up to source in a way that we haven't before, so that this fresh light, this fresh oxygen, these living waters are going to start to flood through our physical body, that and in such a way that it first of all, it's gonna shock you. It's gonna blow your mind. And it is going to slowly, or not so slowly, depends, right? Trickle in to your everyday daily life where you start to shift much of how you are being on the planet. And not because you're taking all these classes or courses, not because you're getting all this healing work done, not because you are doing anything, simply because you are becoming aware of this door and this light coming in, which is source or God. It's coming in, it's flooding in. Imagine we have this grid over the earth, and we have reached some threshold of some sort where there has been this like pop in the grid in a way, and the light of God is now really flooding the planet. And it's a very different reality. It's a very different way of looking at what we're going through. Um, it's going to shift. It really is a pivotal point right now on the planet. And I don't think we're going to really, kind of like how COVID was. Okay, like when you were in the beginning stages of COVID, we couldn't well, some of us knew exactly what was happening. But we didn't really understand the impact or the wave that it was gonna take us on, right? Um, and so when you're in the beginning stages of a wave, you don't really know how big it is, where it's gonna take you, what its impact is gonna be like, right? And that's very similar to what I am feeling into in terms of the human collective and what's happening on the planet and the grids around us right now. There is a wave that's starting. It's a wave that has not been here before. And it is a wave that will be around for a long time. And it is a wave that I believe, or a door that's opening, that I believe is going to have a massive, really positive, cataclysmic shift in our human collective. And so that is why I am feeling so excited about what we're about to step into, because it's going to start rattling people back down into a very basic human existence, and slow people down so that they can begin to be more like in the human, in it, like in the human, like the aware of the human that you're being, right? The curiosity of, and the very basic humanness of being human, if that makes sense. um the gift of it, instead of uh, trying to be in something bigger, trying to be in something more incredible, amazing, quantum, whatever that is, right? And simultaneously, as you start kind of bringing yourself back down into this, like, all right, this is humaning. Here we go. This magnificent light is going to start to want to impact and creep into your life. I'm going to call it source or God. But it is very different than what we have experienced source and God to be through any venue, avenue, tool that we've done in the past. It's a clean slate almost, and it's gonna sweep over us, and it'll be, I think this time right now will be one of the most significant opportunities and moments that we will look back at 100, 200, 300 years from now and see that this was the moment where God really began to peak its light through the veils and began to make a significant impact on the evolution. Part of the reason why we are capable of being at at this stage right now where there's this the veil is kind of breaking and there's this really profound significant light of source kind of really breaking through these veils is because of all of the work humans have done to increase the frequency on the planet, right? From a very uh, basic kind of physics energy perspective, um, which is what the evolution is all about. It's physics, it's just energy and physics, right? The frequency on the planet has increased and our bodies have slowly increased. And with that increase becomes the next phase. So that's evolution. There's phases that we go through, and these phases they come and go based on the frequency of humanity, based on the frequency of your body and my body, based on the frequency of the planet. And these frequency increases happen because of the light of the sun, and it happens because of the choices that we make over and over and over again of how we're being on this planet. And slowly but surely, these choices that we make, the light that comes down into from the sun, these solar flares, etc., they increase the planet's frequency. And then we are gifted with these opportunities and these new moments in the evolutionary pattern, right? And so we are in a new pattern. We're about to burst into a new phase. Um, this this phase I'm super, super, super excited about. This phase um, is gonna wow you. This phase is gonna surprise you. This phase is going to it's gonna be very simple, in my opinion. It'll be very subtle. It'll be very profound. It will be you being more godlike, which can seem very boring, right? Because but also the most jaw-dropping time of your life. You're gonna feel more peace, you're gonna feel more calm, you're gonna feel more joy, you're gonna feel less exhausted, you're gonna feel less efforting. Y you're gonna kinda think what like, you're gonna have these, like, moments of, like, "Wait, is it really this easy?" You're gonna look around and you're gonna see the old patternings of the planet, the old patternings of humanity more and more. You're gonna start to realize, what you were caught in. I'm not talking about the Matrix. I'm not talking about, waking up out of the lies. I'm talking about waking up out of the numbed out ways that we have been conditioned to be. There's deep conditioning that we have on this planet, the human condition. And when this light of source or God starts to come down into your physical body, your field, your life, your world, how you see the world and yourself in it drastically changes. You start to see even deeper conditioning from a heart-centered space. You will feel as if your life is shifting, but there's not much that you're doing. There will be there will be a God particle within you that will be activated. There are God codes within you that will be activated. Um, it's a very exciting time, and simultaneously, you will want to be so deeply in the human experience. You're gonna devour it, you're going to love it, you're gonna wanna serve in new ways, you're gonna wanna be of service, so your lens is gonna start shifting from, "What's wrong with me? Why am I feeling this way? I hate this. I." Your lens is gonna start to shift to, "Oh my God, put me to work. How can I be of service?" And it's not because you've healed yourself or all your trauma's gone away or you've gotten rid of your ancestral blah, 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 right? Or you've done enough ayahuasca now that you can go and do this. This is going to be a natural shift, this rebirth because of this light of God naturally coming in. And when you start shifting that lens, naturally, all the things you were worried about in your own life, they start to go away. You're like, "Wait a second. What's happening here? How could this possibly be what?" And all the things that you put in the forefront, all the things you're worried about right now, you won't worry about. Um, all the doom and gloom stuff that you've been consuming, it's not gonna make any sense. It's like you're gonna feel the light of God in you. You're gonna feel this spark of life, these living waters in you, and it's like you're just gonna wanna shout it from the rooftops. Now listen, this is August 26, 2025. Mark my words that this is gonna take years, okay? This 5 years from now, people may be watching this and saying, "Oh my god, 100% this is happening, I feel it, absolutely," right? And maybe not. Maybe this will be, embraced, earlier than that. But the human condition is pretty drenched in, its ways. And even in the spiritual community, we are drenched in patterning and we are drenched in conditioning, deeply drenched in patterning and deeply drenched in conditioning. There's ways that the spiritual community works. There's ways in which we do this. There's thought patterns that we follow. There's stories that we follow. Um, and when this door opens and the light of source comes in, all of that breaks. It all shatters and it breaks you free. You see, when we really start to simply focus on what would this be if there was this energetic door that opens and there was this floodgates of God that comes in, the source that comes in, it's just flooding the planet, right? What actually would happen? What belief systems would fall apart for me? What behaviors would fall apart for me? How would the way in which I have seen the world fall apart? How easy and simple would life become? How how much would my heart crave to help those that are in other countries that are starving or are being tortured, or are being killed? What's going to happen in my life that is not happening right now when this floodgate of source energy starts coming onto the planet? This is what's going to start happening. Your whole life's going to change, not because you're doing it or you're manifesting it or it's on your vision board, you know, but because God is going to do it with you. Source is literally going to come in and show you what's next. This next phase that we're stepping into that's happening, that's brewing for us is you legit getting out of the way and realizing, "Oh my God, source is coming in now. Holy shiitake mushrooms. God's going to start to come in and literally move me into this next phase." And through the will of God, marking its ways into this evolution with us so that we can more smoothly move into this next phase. Thank you, God, for that assistance. Yes, we still have to do it. Yes, we have free will. Absolutely. But a door is opening. And in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to get rocky as heck in here because listen, you want to know what's going to shake up the dark, demonic, evil energies? God coming in and saying, get out of my way. That's what's going to shake everything up. This spiritual battle that we talk about, it's going to ramp up. Why? Because the door to to source has just energetically opened to such a degree that we are thankfully going to start getting flooded with source energy, which is who we are, which is our home, which is our foundation, which is our power, our strength, our sovereignty will start moving through us like the living waters. And we will expand exponentially in our evolution. And the energies that have been controlling this planet and controlling our minds and controlling our behaviors won't be able to any longer. So there will absolutely be a really intense uh, rattle in the next 5 to 10 years. Infiltration of inorganic um, thought, behavior, numbing, that's going to increase as the light of source starts to flood in. This is and we're in the middle of it. Our souls, our physical bodies are in the middle of it. We are the battle. It's a battle for our sovereignty. It's a battle for our souls. It's a battle for our lives in a way. And so lean into this door that's opening. Lean into source, God. Lean into its understanding, its light, its power, its authority over our own. Because believe it or not, my friends, my beautiful, amazing, incredible humans, you are still deeply inundated. I am still deeply inundated with very, very subtle, seductive energies that are controlling my mind, that are controlling my behaviors, that are controlling me. All of us. So if we think that we are the ones that are going to get ourselves through this, we will still be in this kind of phase that we've been in, which is that I'm going to do it all. It's a beautiful phase. It's a beautiful, beautiful awareness. And it's a beautiful gift that we get to be in charge and that we get to create and manifest and do all of these incredible things. But if we stay in that phase, okay, then we will continue to be manipulated. We will continue to see these sheep's and wolf clothing, wolf and sheep's clothing. We'll continue to be seduced. We'll continue to fall into seductive ways. We'll continue to be infiltrated subtly, but it will happen. Not your fault, not my fault, just what happens. In this phase that we're stepping into now, where this beautiful door is opening energetically and the floodgates of source is like, yo, we're about, it's go time. I'm going to start flooding humanity's physical forms, activating their soul, their God particle, the God codes within them, so that they can begin to be more godlike on this planet. And but they have to be aware, they have to surrender, they have to let go, they have to drop all the ways in which they've done things in the past, all the things they thought they wanted and they thought they needed. It's going to be more God-like behaviors, God-like living, right? So it's going to require a lot. And when we do that more and more, when we shift, surrender, let go, hand over, pray, etc., that shift begins. and the infiltration doesn't have the same power over you because you have the living waters of God literally flowing through you and you can see clearer than you ever have before. Not because you got yourself somewhere, but because you realized a door is opened. The floodgates are coming in. Let's go. Living waters of God and source coming through. Holy cow. Holy, holy. Here we do. Here we go. And it takes you as the human. So the actual, true, real co creation begins. And then it's this for you, it will be this constant battle, so to speak, of what is the godlike way, right? And what is the infiltration type ways that have been infiltrating my behaviors, my mind, my thoughts, my emotions, all of that. And so you'll be able to make the biggest impact you've ever made in your life on this planet. You'll serve in ways you never knew possible. You will feel joy and peace and calm in ways that you never freaking imagined, not because you healed something, not because you figured out the answers to the universe, not because you have elevated yourself into some high frequency, not because you eat healthier, not because of any of that. Because we've entered into another phase of this evolution on this planet. The door has opened and you started to say to yourself, "Huh, wonder what this is all about. Let me tap into this." You're starting to let the living waters of source or the living waters of God start to move through you in whatever unique way you want to do that. And which I'll be talking about more and more and more in the coming years. How do we do this? Um, let's do this. And you'll start watching. You'll start to be able to walk out into absolute chaos, into angry, hateful people, into horrific things that are happening on the planet. And instead of reacting, instead of arguing, instead of fighting it, you'll figure out a way to be of service to them, to all of it. You'll figure out how to be of service to those that are in the most pain, the most angry, the most hateful. A lot of you here will want to go to these parts of the world that are having the worst extreme situations, and you'll want to help. Everything is about to get really good and also really hairy, really crazy. That is why it is so important for us to really start to understand from this new perspective that I'm going to lovingly share with you guys and whoever wants to listen, that these waters are coming in. The light of God is starting to come in, the light of source in a way that it never has. And it's going to start to impact your life in ways that you can't imagine and that you can't figure out and that you don't know how to do. And in the meantime, you'll be frustrated and you'll be annoyed and irritated and you'll be trying to figure everything out and do everything. But slowly but surely, you'll start to open to this. You'll start to get curious around this. Simply start asking. The source start working through you, God start coming in, the living waters of this of what Lori's talking about, like, I'm curious, why not? I've done everything else on the wor in the world. Why not try this? Oh, by the way, it's free. PS.com, this is free. Inviting God in, inviting source in. Whether you believe that you are God or not, it doesn't matter. There is a phase that's happening, okay? Put it aside, the we are all one, I am God, you are God. Put that aside because that has no implications on the next phase. The next phase is literally an opening of the floodgates of source energy coming straight down onto the planet. And so we can argue that we are God, blah, blah, blah. But okay, we can also be like, wow, whatever this next phase is that I'm going to start to open to, perhaps. I mean, listen, I open to the alien invasions. I'm opening to all the horrific things that are happening over here. I'm opening to like, oh, this solar flare is about to happen, and it's going to create this. And you open to all kinds of other things. For some reason, we don't wanna open to, like, the possibility of this next phase. It's very interesting how resistant we are to, like, the most simple and profound opportunities that we may have, right? Um, Source, God. It's too simple, it's too easy. It's not entertaining, it's not fun, you know? It's like, no, um, we want we want the entertainment. Give me the entertainment. Give me the, oh my God, what? Give me those things. That's the conditioning that we've been given over the last 5 years. That's our conditioning, right? So if you're interested in perhaps beginning to have your life shift and change in subtle and significant ways, I encourage you to begin to say, let me just let me just think about this thing Lori's talking about. What is this? If this is true, if there is something happening on this planet like this, if there is some sort of opening where this consciousness, the beginning and ending of everything, this source is starting to flood the planet in new ways. There's an opening, let's say, an imaginary door. Can I start to look at that door? Can I start to invite that door to open more? What would happen if I started to invite source deeper into my life, into my body? What if I started inviting God into my body, into my life more? Even if I believe that God's inside of me and I'm going to do it all, I encourage you, I encourage you, I encourage you to turn the page for a moment. So imagine that we've got this book, because this is how I see the evolution in human consciousness. It's a long linear, because believe it or not, my friends, as quantum as you want to be, you're living in linearity right now, right? Of course, there is no linearity in the quantum field, but when you live on a planet called Earth, you are in linearity. There's linear time. Hate to burst your bubble, but there is. And in that linear time, space continuum, evolution plays out. Okay. And so imagine you're reading a book of our evolution. Actually, I wrote a book called The Divine Design that talks about the beginning of Earth and her evolution and the beginning of humanity, right? Millions of years ago. So we're reading this book and we're at chapter 726. And this is the chapter where God source starts to flood the planet. It's the most exciting chapter so far. Well, there's a lot of exciting chapters, but this is a good one. This is an exciting one. Why is it exciting? Because humanity is going to begin to look up. Literally lift your heads out of the phones, put the phones down and look up. Where's the door? Imagine there's this beautiful energetic door that's opening and everyone's just looking down and they're just consumed by all the things that are about to happen and all the things that are happening. Oh my God, this person's saying this and this person's saying this and oh, did you hear about this? And oh my God, what about this? And there's things happening here and oh my God, what did you guys all and then everybody jumps on the bandwagon about this one subject for about a week. And then we jump off that bandwagon and we jump on another bandwagon and everyone's talking about this thing that's happening. And then we jump off that bandwagon and we jump on another. Everyone's talking about this for a week. Everything is about grabbing your attention to keep you focused on some sort of subject so you don't look up and say, holy cow, God, can you please come in right now? Enter my body. Source, I'm ready. Because everything that I've been doing in these other chapters have prepared me for this chapter right now. Everything that you have done every single day of your life and the life before that and the life before that has prepared you for right now, chapter 776, whatever chapter, 100%. And this chapter that we're stepping into, it will be here for a while. It will be here for a while. It will be an opening and an opportunity for a while. It's not a man. It's an energy. It's light, and it's not something that's gonna it's not a savior complex. It's the next phase of our evolution where we start to embody and integrate the light of who we have always been, because it's where we came from. It's where our souls and our spirits originated from. And so there's this next phase where we are going to embody, integrate that light in a way that we haven't been able to in the past. It's going to be exciting. It's a shift in our approach to life in general. Yes, Loretta, it'll be it'll be very subtle shifts that may happen in the beginning, but they will be profound shifts. You know, there's people in my 40-day I'm doing a 40-day class right now. And what I'm speaking about is what's happening to people in that 40-day class. What's happening to people in that 40-day class. So for 40 days, we're sitting with God, with source, with whatever it is to you, right? Whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever you consider spirit or source, God. We've been sitting every day for the last 35 days, and there have been some really beautiful stories of people's experiences. And so there's these really subtle shifts. There's more peace, there's more calm. And we're not doing anything in class other than just literally sitting with God and having a conversation with this creator, this source. We're not trying to do anything. We're not practicing tools, right? And so what they've been experiencing and what you'll be experiencing and so many humans are going to slowly start to experience is subtle shifts at first, right? You may feel more peace for no reason, more calm, a little bit more like you're not alone. That's a big one. You're not alone. um, you won't feel like you necessarily need to fix anything. There's a trust, a deeper state sense of trust that you didn't have. And these things kind of, Loretta, they kind of pop up or arise randomly out of the blue. Again, it's not a study course. You're not going to a course and studying something to do something because it's not you. You're not doing it. So when you start really interacting and inviting in this essence, this light, this source in, it's a miraculous thing that starts to happen. And all of us are on different place we're all in different places in our life. We all have different types of trauma, different amounts of trauma. We all are living on different parts of the planet. We've had different upbringings. So we're going to have different ways of doing this. And we're going to have different programs in our minds. Some of us have been indoctrinated into really, really heavy, heavy religious backgrounds. And so it's really traumatic to talk about God. Some of us have been an atheist our whole lives. We don't even believe in God. And so there's a billion different ways of experiencing this next phase that humanity's about to go through. A lot of people will be resistant. They're just gonna want to stay in the ways in which humanity has been, and that's okay. This is all slow shifting, phasing in and out. We've done this for thousands of years, right? And so you may not remember because you only remember this lifetime, but there have been plenty of lifetimes where we have experienced similar types of shifts. And they're not drastic. They don't one ends and the next starts. They're merging into each other. right? And so we're finding ourselves in a very new shift that's starting to happen on this planet. We're rolling into a new phase. Um, and um, I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep sharing about it. I'm really on fire for it. I've never, ever, ever experienced an awareness around our evolution that has been more exciting than this. Um, and I've never had more kind of confidence around this because of how I am experiencing it. And the people in the 40-day class, like I didn't, I know what I'm experiencing, right? And I got massive guidance to do this 40-day class. And so watching people in the 40-day class, watching their experiences, it's really blowing my mind because I'm like, whoa, this is freaking real. This is real. And it's gonna have a significant impact in our lives. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. Um, I will do another class, Loretta. I'll be doing all kinds of stuff. I'll be giving everything. And I also think that, like, because I've been so real and authentic in my own experiences, you'll see the shifts in myself, right? And I think when you see the shifts in somebody else, you're like, "Oh, okay." And I'll be sharing more of my own personal things that have been happening since I've really started to recognize this energetic door as the metaphor today, right? And inviting this source in and the struggles, the fight against it that I had in the beginning. I fought against it for months and months and months. I fought against opening up and letting God or source in. I fought against letting go. I fought against surrendering. I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm solid. I've got this. I know how to do this. I have all the understandings. I have all the tools. Like I wrote an incredible book about everything. Like I know how to do this." So I was not one that easily surrendered into this, to God, to source. I just didn't. I didn't like it. Um and It slowly happened. And now I'm all about it. I don't know how to put Greek subtitles in my videos. Surrender feels counterintuitive. I know. I was like that. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. Um, oh my gosh, Jesus is so awesome. Jesus is the greatest thing ever. Jesus is life changing. Life changing. He will change your life. He will change your life. He is a big part of this next phase as well, I believe. And I want to make it really clear, I'm not talking about a religion. I'm not saying that the next phase in evolution is about a religion. Not at all. Not even close. Has nothing to do with any religion on the planet. It has to do with us integrating and embodying the the light of God inside of us, really integrating it, really embodying it, and and accessing uh, ways to do that. And Jesus is profoundly powerful in that. I wish there wasn't such a program stigma around his incredible name. It is the one of the most triggering things to possibly talk about and teach and share. And I will be God will give me the strength to keep talking about this incredible human, this incredible being that walked the planet. And I can't wait till I begin to hold more and more strength and courage to share about this incredible human, this incredible master, this incredible being that is going to, man, he's going to change our lives. And and how it is intertwined with our evolution and how he is intertwined in this next phase. Of course, he is. I see the next phase as this door of God opening, flooding us with the living waters of God. And that's how as I see that. So, of course, Jesus has a big role in it. And of course, there's a lot of really heaviness to that heaviness. And so we shall see, we shall see, we shall see, we shall see. Um, it was triggering until it wasn't. Exactly. Isn't that life? It's triggering until it's no longer triggering. I used to not even be able to say God. I couldn't even say the word God. Literally, I could not say the word God. Ooh, good stuff's coming, you guys. Good stuff is coming. It's going to be really exciting the next couple of years, next 5 to 10 years. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Um, and wait, just wait. Good stuff is in store. Telling you, it's going to get real. Um, all right, you guys, I love you very much. I'll see you next Tuesday. Yes, I'll see you next Tuesday. I'll share with you next Tuesday what I'm going to be doing the next 2 months. A lot coming for us. And see you soon. Mwah. Also, open that door. Let in the light of God. Let in the light of source. Let it run through you. I love you.